Well, good day, everybody. This is Chris with the Ancient Scholar, and I'm back after about a month. I've been completing my requirements for grad school, and it's kept me pretty busy. So I ended up just graduating, and now I'm going to have a little bit more free time. I'm going to be doing some teaching and a little working over the summer, but with that in mind, I will still have some more free time because I won't be taking classes anymore. Hooray! Well, until the end of the summer, then I'm going to be starting some other stuff. But yeah, so what I want to talk about now is something that's very relevant to where I live in the southwestern United States, and that is snake bites. And you know, the weather's changing, it's getting warmer. Well, it's getting warmer for some of us. Even down where I live, it's been unseasonably cool for the spring. We've actually had some rain, which is kind of unusual to have rain down where I live this time of the year. So most of the country is actually experiencing some interesting weather, to say the least. But as we begin to warm up and the sun hits the ground, of course, the snakes are going to be coming out of hibernation. And of course, we will be transitioning into our snake season down here. Back in my heyday as an ER nurse, I dealt with many snake bite victims, and ended up having to administer the primary antidote that's used in the United States, something known as crofab, for a type of a large group of snakes known as the crotalids. There are also another group known as the elapids, and I think I'm going to make a little series of videos actually on venom and anti-venom, and I'll talk about the differences between those, and so I won't really touch on that in this video. But there is an interesting development, and that is a newer anti-venom was recently approved. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. It was the beginning of May. It was right during the the time that I was in my pre-graduation rush there. But I just recently found out about the news. And this is a new anti-venom known as Anavip. And actually, it's been around for a while. Anavip has been around since the late 2000, 2007, 2008, maybe even a little earlier than that. And basically what they've done is they use a very similar technique for making the antivenom as crofab. Crofab was actually approved in 2000, and it replaced a prior antivenom that, while effective, had lots of side effects, particularly the immune system reactions, and we could talk about that later, and I actually tend to a little bit. But anyway, so crofab's been the only game in town, and as you might expect, the cost for crofab has been pretty excessive, $50,000 or more in some cases to treat somebody with crofab. So that's pretty expensive. It's exceptionally expensive, and this Anavip might be a cheaper alternative to crofab. Anyway, the company with Anavip, and I'll talk about this in maybe a little more detail, but I just want to give you an introduction to this series of videos I'll be making while I'm out walking, making sure I don't get bit by any snakes, although it is cooling off now this evening, so the snakes will be less of a problem than in the morning when things warm up. So crofab ended up taking the company that makes Anavip to court. There's some lawsuits, and there's been a big legal mess, if you will, as you might expect, because Anavip apparently uses very similar technology, and there's a lot of copyright issues, and of course companies, look out for their own interests, and they want to make money, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, it's been in the courts for several years, and it looks like they finally sorted it out. It looks like there's evidence that shows it's at least as effective as crofab, and so it looks like it's going to have FDA approval, and we should see Anavip hitting the market, I don't know, probably in the next couple of years. So maybe not to 2015, maybe 2016, 2017. But anyway, that hearing the news of this new development that we're going to have another apparently effective antivenom that is cheaper available kind of galvanized me to want to make a series of videos talking about venom, particularly as it applies to snakes in the United States. So consider this an introduction to a new series of videos, I suppose. All right, guys, as always, thanks for hanging in there.